fact. Mark Vital, simple defense, rebounds, and effort. And if any picture summarized or was a picture of Mark Vital playing basketball or anything, that was it. And Mark Vital, the national championship forward, joins us on 365 Sports. Mark, thank you very much for your time. How much did they miss, like, just someone who was a physical presence that would knock somebody over, or just that toughness that you brought to the table?
Hey, man, I miss you guys, man.
You too.
Doing this, man. Man, I watched the games, and I watched these guys up to, until we lost yesterday. Man, it's hard to coach a lot of effort. You know what I'm saying? Effort is just what's inside of you, And so watching these guys yesterday, man, they did a good job in some spurts of the play. I just wanted these guys to play harder throughout the whole game and not to feel like they had to give up. And it's hard to try to, compare my effort, my energy, and everything to some of these guys now, and I had to understand that a little bit yesterday, but man, I just wish they had that one dog,
Well, Mark, it's kind of interesting because that is his energy and effort is there is John, but he's not completely healthy yet and his normal player, so he can't physically exert that same athleticism that he had, but it was built up through a couple different things with kind of Ish Wainwright, when you got here, was right here right before you, and then you and Freddie were kind of like that, and then you on the national championship team, and John was kind of supposed to take the reins, but it's hard to, like you said, there's not really a lot of transference. It's either it's in you or it's not, and John can't physically exert himself to that way.
Yeah, man. Like I was thinking about it a little bit yesterday, man. I kind of blame myself in a way, and you guys probably laughing. Like, how, Mark? How do you blame yourself for what happened yesterday? And I kind of blame myself, and I told Coach Drew the same thing, man. Like, me coming up, when I redshirted, I had guys coming back to kind of show me the way, And for me, even though I had some days off, some time off, I should have always went back and just practice with the guys, man. Talk to the guys, practice with the guys. Just tell the guys, man, how much it is to value a role. I think so many guys didn't have the role figured out until the last few minutes of the year. But I just think I kind of blame myself. So I should have came back and taught you guys a little better. The big bro should have came back. So I blame that little bit of that loss to myself. But like you said, man, John is not 100% as he want to be. Because he's just John right now. We need everyday John back, and I know that he will be back. Slow still was slow. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of stuff, man. And I kind of blame myself, like I say.
How much of that defensive, toughness mentality, how much of that do you think was ingrained in you, and how much do you think that was kind of taught to you along the way? Like, how much could you have helped out somebody who, maybe didn't have that to begin with? Is that something you feel like you can instill?
Yes. So for me, man, I just think I was born with that gift. But at the same time, man, it installed the IQ, the lit, you know what I'm saying, the pounding, just really just developed me in that way. I always had energy, and I always have, you can't coach Mr. 95. You know what I'm saying? I think for now on, for the next going on years, Coach Drew should have assigned a Mr. 95% to somebody every year, and somebody has to buy into that role and really watch the film on, Rico, Ishmael Wainwright, myself, TJ Maston, Joe Achua, all those guys, man, and really just develop that role, and that's just how I think of it. I don't think a lot of guys realize they role until a little too late, and now, we end up losing. But, man, I just feel like a Mr. 95 should be out there every year.
Mark, what's it like as a former player who put blood, sweat, and tears into this program, and you reached the mountaintop a couple of years ago, and being a Baylor guy, to watch them not have as much success, even though the last 2 years have been good in ways, but now the expectation of the standard was set. What's it been like to watch the last couple of years the way it ended?
I would say it like this, man. I'm always proud of him every year. You know why? Because a lot of the time, I think we all forget that at one point we wasn't making the tournament.
Yep.
We wasn't making the tournament. So like, anytime I see these guys make these tournaments and pass the first round, second round, or just get into the first round, I'm excited for these guys, man. And I know they put in the work, and they don't understand the history, but we do. When it comes down to that, but man, like, I can't really say about the building because man, they had guys before me building. Man, I can take you back. Red shirt, we lost to South Carolina 2016. The next year, lost to a buzzer beater, Mississippi State. The next year, second round Gonzaga. The next year, we lost to COVID. Then we won a championship. So I've been through the trials and tribulations just like some of the guys. But I think what Coach Drew, what helped Coach Drew is getting a young guy and just grooming him like he did myself,
Yeah, Mark, you were, when you come in, your first ever, what I remember about you, it's the same, really, you and Ish Wainwright were so similar to me in that for a while, it was just like, let's put this guy out there. He's a bull in a china shop. And then once he figures out how to direct that energy, then it's going to be something really good. What were those early years like for you where you were out there like, look, you were going to get a hard foul that was going to get you taken out of the game, but like, look, good energy, but maybe not as much. What was that like as you learned how to hone your power?
Yeah. I took it in like a whole superhero. I was a superhero that couldn't control any of his energy. Like when Superman just learned that he had his powers, And for me, man, it was really hard, man. Like I say, Ish installed that into me, Ish, and just coming back and coming on those visits and really playing with some of those guys. But a lot of film really helped me. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of film and just really just learning to control my body to keep the same energy. I don't think some of the guys now realize how important it is for film, and some guys might, or they just might be looking at it different. And then again, you got to think about it too, man. This is the first year where the whole boy band is broken up, with the whole coaching staff. So, man, it's a little different.
I'm glad that you said that's perfect timing, actually, because I wanted to ask you, this is a two-part question. A lot of people after the game, like, oh, man, we lost our sauce when Tang left and, things like that. Can you go in depth on, the role that he played and how much they might be missing because Jerome Tang is no longer on staff, especially, on the defensive side? And then also, how happy are you for him and his success that he's having right now?
Oh yeah, man! Like I told you, man, that's like I'm a little too young. You guys probably know about the Beatles and everything. So
yeah,
it's like you guys breaking up that band, man, and just everybody had their role within it. It was no particular coach there. There was like, hey, if we take you away, everything would change. Every coach played that role, and just. When we won the championship, you guys, you seen we had roles, and then everybody left. You see that Matthew Mayer had to now be the star, and Adam Flanagan had to go into this role, and then this guy had to go into this role. Now, who's Mr. 95? You know what I'm saying? So, just like the players, it's the same for the coaches. And we have great coaches, and Coach Tang was an awesome coach. And I'm like, man, here's going to him. And I'm saying it now. You're the first here. It's going to him. And he was an excellent coach, man. He was the mouth. He was the heart. He made sure he kept me in check a lot of the times when I'm trying to get it out of hand. But he was that guy, man.
Was he was he the one that was not unafraid to say something to anyone that needed it?
Yeah, I would say all the coaches were like that, but Coach Tang was that real vocal. Like Coach Tang was that real vocal guy, he'll pull you to the side and he'll get on you. Like he recruited me, so I got it the worst. But yeah, man, he'll get on you, man. He'll get on you real tight.
We were talking about him earlier, and that he had a couple of barbs after John Calipari said some stuff yesterday, and he is. Coach Tang is self-made. He has pulled himself up. When he interviewed with Coach Drew, he was broke and just trying to get by, get into the coaching game. So he's been through it. How much does his life experience kind of help reach people because he's been through some stuff too?
Yeah, man, Coach Tang, man, Dan, talked about this one year, man. Coach Tang lifestyle is played like a movie through us. You know what I'm saying? Like that energy, everything, the spirituality of everything is through him. It goes straight to his players, and I'm not surprised that K-State is in the Sweet 16 right now. And I'm not surprised they don't go to the Final Four and win it all. I wanted to win it all, and just being honest, man, the way Coach Tang is going straight to his players, and you can tell by his players, man. And I take that disrespect what Coach Calipari said about his players and everything, but man, you got to give respect when respect is due. You guys got outplayed by a grimy team. You know what I'm saying? That's a great team that you guys play and you guys lost. But yeah, man, Coach Tang put all his energy within his players, and he loves his players, man. He's a player's coach, if you may say.
Mark, Flo Thamba had himself a great career, was a part of the national championship. He was huge like you were, and Jonathan, especially with the way he dominated Gonzaga underneath and inside and just completely harassed Timmy. But is he someone that you think needs a Batman-Robin type combination for him to play better inside? That person that takes care of a lot of the other dirty work so he can be around to do what he's supposed to do and block shots?
Yeah, man. The things that people don't know about Flo is that Flo is one of those players where in the right moment he can turn it on. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes down to Batman and Robin, I would say in a way, yeah, because it's like it takes a lot of pressure off of him, because he can get those easy picks, those easy box outs and everything like that. And when the team is trying to scout that and they only seeing like one player doing it, it's kind of easy for them to check Flo and really bang on him, man. Like yesterday, man, it was a big guy. Even though the people say, well, Flo is this tall and he's supposed to, it don't always work like that. I was 6'4" and I was going against 7-footers. So it don't always work like that. And, yeah, I kind of agree with it. But at the same time, man, Flo is his own version of his player,
Mark Vidal, former Baylor Forward with us, national championship player for Baylor on 365 Sports.
So, Mark, what do you think is the future for this Baylor? I mean, they're going to be good every year. You know that. Like, what do you think the future is for the guys who are coming back, and how will this kind of fuel that moving forward? Like you talked about, that South Carolina game was something I'm sure that stung for a while until you got to that next one and the next one.
So, man, Baylor's going to be good for a long time, especially if Coach Drew adds me to the coaching staff. Oh, man, he added me to the coaching staff, man. It'll be even better. But, man, these guys will be unique for a long, long time, man. They got a great staff. They got great GAs, great managers, man. We got an awesome fan base. Even when we was losing, I don't care what people say. The people that was loyal still are there. We just added a few more. But we're going to be good for a long time just based off of the culture, man. One thing I will say, even though we lost, we still have that culture. I've been to a couple games, man, and the culture is still there. The locker room is still there. Guys loving on guys, man, and enjoying each other. You know what I'm saying? And great recovery from Dave, everybody. And so the culture is still there, man. We just got to find our roles within it. I don't think we established our roles, and I don't think we're soft. I don't understand why some people would think that we're soft. We're not soft. We had a couple guys that was a little younger, a couple older guys, but at the same time, man, it took me 4 years to get into a role.
Mark, how much can the offseason with Charlie Melton, how much does that, you think, help Jonathan because of the miracle in the first place that he even got back on the floor? And I think a lot of people just thought he would just go right back to who he was, which was an impossible ask, but an offseason for him. And someone like Jalen Bridges, who kind of plays that tweener position, if he comes back for another year, how much can they bulk him up?
Man, I would say this, and I hope you guys quote me on this. Charlie Melton is Mr. Miyagi. He is Mr. Miyagi, man. He's the reason why all these NFL teams and WWE, everybody's reaching out to me because of Charlie Melton changing my body from that squirmy kid into the beast you see now. And so, man, I think him and Dave played a huge part within, Jonathan's process coming back, man. And Charlie Miller could shake anybody back. I remember I had a hip. I had messed my hip up my sophomore year, and I was supposed to be out for like 2 weeks, man, because Charlie got me right within like 2 days, it felt like. And I came back with so much energy. And, yeah, like I said, man, Charlie Milton is Mr. Miyagi. Now, that's my brother. I love him. I still talk to him to this day about, man, hey, how can I do this for my body, man? I feel a little ache in my calf. Hey, man, that's all you got to do. And I do it, and I'll be good like in the next 5 minutes. I'll be like, oh, that's all it was?
So how do you think Scott and the staff with Coach Jacobs and Alvin and others, Bill Peterson, how do you feel like Ty Beard, they handle this offseason?
Man, they're going to do what they do best. So they're going to work them real good. They're going to try and install everything that they know into them. I mean, I think every year, if I'm not wrong, that Coach Drew has got better as a coach. If you agree, I think he has got better as a coach every year, along with the coaching staff. Like I say, man, it's the Beatles are broken up. So I think what's going to happen now is that, man, it's going to be a lot over the off season. Like I said, man, Coach Drew might add me to the coaching staff. I'm just playing with him, but we'll figure something out, you know. And I'm gonna go down there a couple of times just to work with some of the guys, also, man, just to teach them a little bit of what I know. I know some of the other guys are best to come down too. So it's gonna be a fun off season, and I'm just happy I can be part of it.
Well, there's no question former players have been more than welcomed back to come back to the program from the days of Epe Udo or whoever else, and the most recent players like yourself. What is that, or is there a fine line in you being who you were and what you brought to this program, and yet not overstepping your boundaries so some of the new guys are, no matter what you've done, are maybe not ready to hear that?
Right. So for me, man, I tell guys I'm just as real as it gets. I'm not a guy that's coming in trying to swag of, hey, man, I've won a championship, so you guys got to listen to everything. I want everybody to be their own player, you know? And the only thing I can do is teach you and give you my IQ and my thoughts of things, which I can teach you and lead you to water, but I can't make you drink. You know, that's what Coach Drew used to always tell me. And I feel like when guys come back, that's your vet. Even though, okay, some guys might not be in the NBA, some guys might not be wherever, some guys might just work at the car dealership or whatever it may be. At the end of the day, they're still your family. You know, they're still your Baylor family. And they know something that you don't know. They played, you know what I'm saying? And it's for the different cultures. So for me, man, I used to always take it in when guys come in, man. Even if I didn't, or I used to listen to Perry Jackson and hear this guy tell me about, man, you need to start doing this and start doing that. Okay, cool, man. Even though I'm not your height, but I'm still trying to do it. But it's always good for guys to come back, and these young guys, you know, and that's one of my things I struggled with my first couple of years was listening. And then once I figured it out by just listening to guys, everything worked out.
Mark, you've had an interesting couple of years, you know, after you spent the time with the Chiefs. What have you learned about yourself in the last couple of years? What did you learn? You're one of the only people who can say that you were coached by Scott Drew and Andy Reid. So that's a weird overlap there.
Yeah. I try to tell guys, man, the two things they got in common is that coffee. Them guys can drink some coffee, man. They both fun coaches, man. But learning from the NFL, even some of the NBA stuff, and college, man, all I can put together is just hard work and dedication, really. And how much time go into this. Like, I realize it doesn't matter what sport you playing. It's a lot of time going into this and how to take care of your body. And so, man, you see the difference in coaching, too, with different coaches and how aggressive some is, how cool some is. But, man, for me, man, I just know it's hard work and dedication and just really locking in. Take care of your body. Take care of your money. Like I tell people, man, take care of your money, too. And really just love what you do and trust the process.
Mark, what is the future for you? I know that you were on the practice squad, Seattle, then, of course, Kansas City. What is now your goal?
My goal right now, man, I am still training and just waiting for a home right now as far as football. But If it doesn't work out like I want to, I have a couple other options. I got one secret option that I won't kind of surprise you guys with, but I'm gonna surprise you guys with it if it happens.
Okay.
But if that doesn't work like I want to, I'm gonna just go back to basketball, go overseas, man, and go be Mr. 95 for somebody overseas, and then come back to Baylor and hopefully coach.
Yep. I will make sure. I think Scott Drew will probably hear about the fact you've offered yourself for that. Tweety Carter, former player, is on staff. One serious note, and you've talked to us even back after the national championship, that at times there is the worry about mental health and about being depressed and all of that. How are you doing with handling yourself during any of the downs in your life?
Man, that's a great question, man. I was just talking to a family member about that, how to deal with, that mental depression and anxiety and everything. And for me, man, I've been working on it so well to a point where I can actually speak out to others about it. And you remember at one time I was kind of shelled off about a lot of things, but, man, now I learned my meditations and always just really staying busy and just really talking to people. And I learned to really open up and talk. And like I said, I always appreciate when I come on here and I talk, and you always ask about you guys always ask about my mental health, because they always played a part in a lot of things I do. But, man, I've been awesome. I'm like a big rose from the concrete.
Yeah.
I finally bloomed a little bit.
Well, you are always great to hear your voice and always great to hear your passion and some true serum along the way with perhaps the last couple of years with Baylor and what they do in the offseason as well. Stay in touch with us, young man. We appreciate you. Love you to death, and always appreciate your insight.
Man.
You too.
Love you guys, man.
Mark Vital, former Baylor national champion, a couple of times at Kansas City, released back at